Ooh, hey, hi. Hopefully things are going good for you. Things have been painful and decent for me, but we always somehow manage to just make it. Truth is, I never know how to start these videos out, but I always have a lot racing on my mind, and you just want to get all of it out there. Sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't able to, but ooh, here we go. Doing YouTube and streaming or just anything internet wise is just kind of tantalizing, and there's no guide to it, no nothing. Is pretty much you figure it out for yourself, and that's what you sign up for. But it's like you have to engage, you have to be very consistent with your stuff, especially if you want to see it work and prosper. And truth is, some days I have no problem with that, and some days I do. Because it's like you sit there, it's like, hey, I just want to chill today. And when you take those days to just like chill, it's like you're really putting a foot against your own neck. Because it feels like you get behind on something. I don't know. Today is one of those days where it's like I just want to get a cigarette and just smoke like I used to. A lot of people don't notice, but I genuinely used to smoke a lot because I was so stressed out. I did a lot of other things because I was stressed out, and yeah, it was bad for you, but in a moment when you did do it, it just didn't feel bad. It felt like you had that temporary fix where you just had everything pretty much gone. Some of those bad habits have stayed, some of them haven't, but it's like, I don't know, man. Or woman. It's just difficult. But you keep telling yourself you gotta keep trying, you gotta do something different because, well, that's all there is to it. Only you can really get yourself out of this, and you know it. It's just, you might be waiting, you might be praying on someone to help you out or whatever, but truth is, most of the times in those cases, it's not like that. And sometimes it's a sad thing, but like I said, you gotta keep going. I don't know if it's me going through episodes, bouts, all that other shit of just depression. No, I take that back, it is fatigue, burnout. Because a lot of people keep on saying, see, this is why you're not at like 1,000 subs, you're not at this certain number, and truth be told, yeah, I am my own reason why I'm not up there, because I choose not to follow trends. I just want to do my own thing, chill and relax with, well, not just chill and relax. Y'all have seen some of the shit that I do. Either it is chill and relaxing or just flat out chaos. To where we all have an escape from just the things going on. Or we can all just sit there and have a good laugh or whatever together. I want to let y'all know this. coming from a 22-year-old, which is me, right? I've seen and done a lot of things despite my age, and I'm willing to reckon that you probably have too. I'm never ever going to be the type of guy to demean your experience or say that what I went through was much worse than you or whatever. Pain is something that's universal, and man, you want to stop going through it sometimes, but to be fair and honest, that never stops. It's like I have an addiction to pain that I'd never even consented to, wanted, no nothing. Sometimes my body aches for no reason. Sometimes I think about past things, or sometimes I am going through something to where it's like you get that mental, spiritual, physical. There's all different types of pain that none of us sign up for, and it just goes bump in the night, during the day, midday, whatever it might be. This is mainly just like a rant video, just it's always hard to just really say what I want to say, because it's like that fear. Believe it or not, I do have fear. As crazy, dumb, repugnant, or whatever that I act and I appear, I do genuinely want y'all to know I am not that. It's just I choose to act like that, and because that I do, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do get treated as such. This is going to be a long video. The reason why I choose to act those ways is because throughout my life I found whenever I act, or I actually do start to respect myself. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's like I said, either for comedic effect or just maybe I genuinely don't care. It's an assortment of things that not even I'm aware of at the time, I would say. But it's just I found whenever you do act smart, whenever you do act certain ways, people count on you for X, Y, and Z. And I used to be the guy where everyone would come to me for like something, and it used to annoy the shit out of me. So I would push people away. Worst part is sometimes I do that, but genuinely I don't even know why. I keep thinking to myself, the one great reason that comes up is just I like being on my lonesome sometimes, and as much as I do preach about communication, which I actually do try to uphold to, sometimes I don't communicate that, hey, I just want to be left alone. I have like a lot on my plate. I don't want to burden you with what I'm currently going through, with what I have on my mind, or etc. But sometimes that's not the right way to go. I want to let y'all know this now. You'll hear the cliche of you have one life to live, you know? You gotta live it, you gotta do whatever the heck that you want with it. And what I failed at doing, especially now, is taking and heeding the advice of people to get something stable, get something that's just going to help you in the long run or whatever. But the thing is that I've tried that. I genuinely have. I have an actually good resume with things, believe it or not. I know y'all like to make fun of me for going, you cannot maintain a job. Like the forbidden JOB word. No, I'm just fucking with you. We're gonna say job. But even still, it's like you get something that's so boring in Chalice, and throughout my life, I'm so used to just crazy, sometimes dare I even say life-threatening, just I'm the type of person where it's like I have to take that risk, I have to do something crazy, because it's like I found myself where I've had that stability, I've had that anchor, I've had that before, and I threw it away at the chance of just having my own freedom, having my own just free reign to do whatever that I please. Some days I wouldn't trade it for the world. Some days I would certainly do that, but then it's like you go back into just like that monotony, that routine, that just, and it feels like a part of you dies with it, you know? And it's like, yes, work, do something stable for like a couple of years so that way the rest of your other years won't be as horrid. And I really do get that. It's like, I feel like an idiot sometimes because I don't listen to that advice, or like all the advice that I can be able to give, sometimes I don't take it. Isn't it a weird thing where it's just like the people who feel like their world, their everything is like on fire, are able to help out others just prosper? I keep thinking in my head, and this has also led to a lot of other problems, such as relationships or just financial decisions or just whatever, that I keep thinking, okay, there's a third option, something that we're not seeing here, but just whether that be that this thing, I mean, this person doesn't agree with it, or just you make one bad decision and wham, you're either at square one or you're in a negative and you're playing catch up. I hate that people pretty much use my past against me, and I'm just trying to move on, I'm just trying to go forward, and it's kind of like what I'm doing now. It's like you end up using that past against yourself or someone else does, and it's just all you want to do is just move forward, you know? Not be reminded of this, that, and the other third. What can we do now? Instead of dwindling about what happened back then. But without dwindling what happened back then, we wouldn't be able to really make or do better decisions, you know? The thing is, I'm still human at the end of the day. Sure, my emotions might be more irrational compared to others due to what I do have, but you try to make it work. Because I'm gonna go back to just like the consistency thing with doing YouTube or any type of internet thing, right? If you aren't consistent with it, it's like you do suffer. But it's just like having that burnout is crazy to really just kind of put it out there on full display, because it's still like a brand new concept nowadays. You try explaining this to people and they think all you do is you just sit in front of a camera, you either talk, you just do like X, Y, or Z thing. I always tell everyone this. Anyone can stream. It's genuinely not easy to be entertaining to people. the thing that most people fail to do, whether you want to do this for the right or the wrong reasons, is understanding. When you learn to understand things, the world will literally become yours, believe it or not. And I know it's hard to just like hear that from me. It's like, I don't have the world, I don't have what a lot of other people have. The one thing that I can say that I do have sometimes, or dare I even say majority of times, is just a peace of mind. I may be suffering, but whenever I don't think about that, sometimes I can actually just sit there and be content, be peaceful, be bliss, because it's like fighting that duality of just like, hey, what you've been doing is more than enough. Be content with it. And then the other half is just, you need more. You need more. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. And fighting between those two parallels, you never meet that middle. No, my bad. That's a lie. Sometimes you do meet that middle where it's just like, yes, you can be consistent with things, but it's like, you try to have a grip of control of it, but like I said, that burnout comes out of nowhere. You should have seen the signs, you should have seen X, Y, and Z, and then bam, you just kind of spiral out, you crash. And now you're playing keep up, or you don't. Because the thing that I'm facing pretty much is like, hey, I keep doing all these streams, I keep doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, at the end of the stream, I don't want to do nothing, I just feel tired. Because it's like, think about it, sometimes whenever you do a stream, it's like, you might just do nothing but talk, and that can put like a strain on your voice, you know? You might do some physical activity. You might just do X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to do whatever you can to just entertain people or whatever people come to you for. And it's just, sometimes that can be taxing on you. Like I said, my problem is I'm trying to like juggle between doing the streams, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I love streaming. I love, interacting with everyone and just saying like, hey, how's your day going? Let's just go do something funny and wacky. Let's just have something that we can remember. Go to sleep and just go like, hey, I'd love to do that again, or hey, I have an idea. And we either say yes or no. We all have our own jokes. Avi, for example, saying I'm bald when I clearly have hair. Or maybe all of y'all saying I'm fucking midnight, because watch this shit. If I literally were to turn these lights out right here, comment if you can see me. Yeah. But it's just, like I said, I can absolutely do the trendy thing. I can do the thing that's absolutely going to skyrocket me or etc. But I'd love to pave my own way by doing my own thing, But whenever you're doing something like that, you gotta understand how hard or easy, it really depends on what you're doing. But the thing is that choice, that road, nobody else has walked that road before. And you are completely on your own with it. And it's just, people tell you, oh, you don't want it that bad, or whatever some people might tell you, you start to believe it. And the thing is, most of the time, it might even be some stuff that you say about yourself, like insecurities or whatever. and you really just get into like a bubble to where it's like it'll eventually burst and bam, you're just juggling between doing streams, videos, clips, a whole lot of this, that, and the other third, because things are saturated now. Because like I said, anybody can stream, but not everybody can really stream, you know? Because we have like a lot of, fuck it. That's also the other thing of just trying to watch your mouth. You don't want to say nothing bad, no whatever, but it's like, I don't want to ever get to that point to where it's like, I have to watch myself, because if I don't, it's pretty much just GG curtains for you at that point. But it's also like a lot of older people think, they're like, oh, that shit's easy, X, Y, and Z, and I just sit there, I'm like, why the fuck don't you do it then? For example, like if there is a problem in your life, think about how to solve it, and if you want to really do some crazy shit with it, once you find a solution to that problem, you can market it. I mean, think about it. Think about soap, for example. Someone has literally said, hey, I fucking stink. Started lathering herself up, putting that squeaky clean good stuff on you, and bam, you don't stink. Same thing with deodorant and all that. But then there's also some complex things to where it's like either your internal or your like mental problems, or just other problems. Like me, for example, I would genuinely love a fucking editor, someone that can manage to do clips and stuff like that for me, because it's like, dude, I'm not even joking, I'm so backed up with shit. I am so backed up with shit. It's either two things, right? You either miss out on a day of streaming, of just doing your thing or whatever, right? Or you can spend an entire day doing a video or etc. And it's just like, whatever you really pour yourself into, you feel behind. Because I remember back then, it would feel like, hey, I'm not streaming as much, and y'all would be like, hey, when the fuck are you gonna do a stream? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm working on videos and stuff at the moment, you know? And I'm thinking, shit, I'm so behind on that. But you end up doing so many streams that, like I said, you just get behind. And thank y'all for making clips, because that does make it easier. I promise I do look at them. It's just, like I said, after a stream, I'm just fatigued. I'm fatigued. Sometimes I don't even know why. Maybe I just tire out that easily. I mean, I do have fucking asthma, but yeah. I still want to be the change that I see in the world, because, like I said, we all genuinely have a lot to say, whether people like it or not. That's why it's called a fucking opinion. You can choose to watch X, Y, and Z or not. I remember when I was a kid, right? I genuinely wanted to change the world, and sometimes I do. The only thing I want to change about the world is just, it's easier for people to understand another. You know? Because you know what's the funny thing that I've noticed throughout the streams, that I can valiantly just say I am genuinely proud of all of y'all. Nobody discriminates against no one. Well, except for me. I'm not gonna lie, y'all all can just like band together and discriminate against me. I'm not gonna lie, I do gotta hide it sometimes because it's funny as fuck. Some of the shit y'all say is foul. I can't say nothing back, because if I do, guess who's going to jail? Not you. Me. Oh hell. But it's just, I'm proud of y'all for that. Nobody really discriminates against each other except for just me against y'all or y'all against me. But it's like, let me give y'all a little bit of lore behind me as a whole. Truth be told, I absolutely hate talking about my past in any fucking iteration, but the thing is that as long as someone can learn from it, I don't care how much it hurts me. For example, relationships. Ooh boy. Ooh fucking boy. I'm gonna be completely honest. After my ex, she's a wonderful person. Don't get me wrong, it's just we're both young and we it still hurts. It doesn't hurt as much, but it's one of those things where I genuinely feel I haven't told anyone this until now. I don't think I can genuinely ever love again because of that. And I know I can sit here and say that, and it's just, maybe a fucking month, maybe a week, maybe a year, whatever from now, I'm just like, hey guys, I have a new wife. Hey, I have a child. No comment on the child part. We're never ever gonna bring anything up about that. Jesus Christ. But the culmination of things that has happened to me, let me get real personal with y'all real quick. So, like I said, I'm never gonna demean or tell you whatever you went through is wrong, but just, y'all wanna know the absolute fucking truth? Some days I genuinely just feel empty. No, no, no. Not some days, just most. Maybe it's just something to protect myself whenever I say this, but it's just like I feel like sometimes throwing on mask or whatever. Not like no, no, no. Like grabbing a persona, maybe being a character. And I know that they say don't ever let them know that you're breaking out of character or whatever. Y'all have to actually understand something. I know I've just contradicted. Okay, fuck. I'm just gonna flat out say it. What you see from me is genuine, but just when I'm on my lonesome, it's either I'm in the pursuit of just trying to learn and understand more things about myself and the world, or just I'm completely empty. Like I feel soulless. I feel like there's literally nothing there. And the reason I say all this with a smile is because finally I just got it out. My bad. Chicken just sent me a fucking message saying sleep stream nigga shit. If y'all ever see Chicken, please give this man his like just he's cool. My friend groups are cool. They're just thank y'all. Y'all do genuinely get me going. It's just I'm not even going to like sugarcoat it. Like I said, I just feel empty sometimes. Like I feel like I could do the worst thing in the world and genuinely not feel any remorse about it, or just I used to be the person, and sometimes I am, that would give everything. I used to put people above me more than anything, and I didn't care how much I would suffer. Or that's what I used to think. Until it turns out, yeah. you do suffer. I would literally give someone the shirt on my back whenever they were cold, which is why pretty much I'm used to cold shit. I actually love the cold, but I would give people everything in my fucking account, knowing damn well it's going to fuck me over, but I was like, hey, as long as you're okay, it's just, I didn't feel like I wanted to just like live sometimes. I was like, as long as I had the bare minimum, I just didn't give a shit. My original dreams and aspirations were, I wanted to be a boxer, I wanted to go to the military, I wanted to have some grandiose purpose besides myself, you know? And there's two things that I've learned. Sometimes you shape and you mold your own world, or sometimes the world shapes and molds you. I'm going through a mix of both right now, but just, it scares me to always say and do what I truly want to do, because it's like, when you're doing stuff like this, you're at the whim, you're at the risk of other people, and they can either propagate you or not. Like I said, today is just one of those genuine days where it's like, you need that smoke or whatever, right? But I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if my friends... No, that's a lie. I know that they do watch my stuff. Siblings, past lovers, past whoever, or even current people, or y'all. I do want to set a good precedent. I do want to set a good example of just, hey, whatever is genuinely on your heart, whatever you genuinely want to do, is possible, but only through you. You have to see it through, and just... I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely not been a good example of that. It's just... Y'all remember how I said, I thrive under pressure? I genuinely do. That's like if I am forced to. But whenever it's of my own volition, where I have to do it, where I have to push myself genuinely, it's different. It's like, even whenever sometimes it might become a survival thing, my mind is like, the mind is a very powerful thing, because like I said, you can choose to make it whatever you want it to be, but you get so wrapped up in just whatever that, or it's just like you don't see reason, you don't see no purpose. I remember I went to my doctor. This was 3 years ago. I've even received therapy and some other shit for just the things that have happened to me, but it's like, what is it? It was like a severe clinical case of depression, because it's like, I know that we all have it, but they were telling me like my stuff was genuinely crippling, and I feel that sometimes. Like, I just want to fucking cry, but you know what's the worst part? You can't. So you just sit there for like long extended periods of time where you just sit there and you just go, let me tell y'all where I've always wanted to just like live, just somewhere in like Sweden or Russia, and in like one of those towns that you might see in like a Netflix movie, or fuck, even Germany or something like that. A place near like a mountain with just like the water at the bottom or whatever, and it's just something so relaxing or whatever. I remember earlier I looked through my brother's account over on Instagram, and it makes me sad, but really happy that they're doing really well. No, not like no, I take that back. I am slightly jealous. I am. Because growing up is yes, I had the same things as them to a degree, just not what they have now, you know. But because me and my dad, we had a very bad falling out. The one thing that I've never understood is why is it that someone decides to treat or say or whatever about you, and if you even dare to do the same thing back to them, they can't handle that shit in any fucking continuity, even though you may have tolerated this for like an extended amount of times, and it's just you just snap. The reason why I tend to be tender or soft about things is because once I do eventually hit that snap, you end up taking it too far, and you know that you do. It's just I always give people that I probably shouldn't have given the benefit of a doubt, and sometimes people run with it or whatever. But once that line is crossed, it's just pretty much no morals, no nothing will hold me. Absolute just whatever I can think in the basics is just GG at that point. But back to my brothers and stuff like that. I am genuinely happy. I noticed that there's like a bit of pain in my voice because I wish that that was given and granted to me. But the thing about that is, in order for me to have the same stuff that they have, I pretty much, as parents, I understand you do genuinely want the best for your children, but some ways that you go about things or whatever is just, to me, it's not good, you know. Y'all want to know something? Truth is, the best that I can ever be is just okay to decent. I'm never okay. But I've learned to be comfortable with that. Because in order for me to pretty much have the entire world, or a lot of things that people would absolutely fiend for or whatever, I had to become something that I just wouldn't agree with. And I understand throughout life we have to do things that we are not comfortable with. And best believe you me, I've spent the great last 22 years actually doing that. So it's just when you're given the choice of doing whatever you want to do, that comfortability, that whatever that might come up can hinder you, or you never find a decent spot until you get into a decent spot, I guess. I just always came from the background of do what you're told and you'll have everything you want. But you want to know what really stopped me from getting and obtaining all of that? Questioning everything. Doing something that, my bad, not agreeing with something and then voicing it and then not doing it would get you into trouble. You're told you're a rebel, you're told you're this, that, and the other third. At one point they tell you, yes, you do have feelings, you have X, Y, and Z, but then denounce it sometimes, and it's just, what I felt like was, oh my God. You know, sometimes while doing these types of videos, as much as I would love for y'all to learn something from me, I learned something too. Not all learning is good, but learning is still learning. I learned that pretty much I'm the guinea pig for like a lot of things of what to do and what not to do. Pretty much suffering for others to prosper is a selfless thing, but when you try to start doing things for yourself and people are so used to just getting whatever, and I get it that what they've wanted for me to do, what is that they saw it being best for me, but if it's just something that I don't agree with, because I've had those corporate jobs, I've had those things where it's just, it sucks your soul. Yes, you have stability, but that stability, it's great, it's good, it's just, as crazy as this is to say, I found it to be boring, pretty much. I felt like I wasn't actually living. You pretty much have to give into like some notions, some shit of what other people think, without giving yourself a chance for that as well. It's like friendships, for example, we all compromise. You and a friend may butt heads on like fucking something, and it might just end the relationship whenever you think to yourself like, dude, it wasn't that bad, this could have easily been solvable. Whether that be friendships, romantic relationships, or whatever, we all learn. You can be someone's first for anything. For example, me, I was the first child out of 4, and I was pretty much the template, the guinea pig of what to do, what not to do. I promise that one of these days I will end up talking to my dad again, but just, I'm not gonna sit there and be that R-tard where it's just like, whenever I get mad, all I see is red. No. The thing about getting mad, having that uncontrollability, you end up doing and saying a lot of things that you regret, you know? Or at least in my case that I do. It's not like some power up, no nothing, it's just, it's something that's completely destructive, that's just, it's not good for anyone, because there are different types of ways or different types of things whenever people do get mad. When I get very mad, frustrated, upset, some stuff like that, my bad, we're just sticking to being mad. When I get mad, it's just like a purely destructive thing. No actual rationality behind it, just whatever you can say and do that's just the most destructive, do it. Because you've been pushed to this point to where I've tried to genuinely maintain peace, try to understand and see things through to where it's just like a win-win, or a solution that benefits or helps out everyone, or just You try to mitigate things, but once it gets past that point of rationality, things tend to just falter, and, well, you don't come out the same way that you did before. Oftentimes worse for both sides. That's why I always talk about, like, if I can, I try to find a win-win situation for everyone, or just some type of solution that everyone is comfortable with. Even if people benefit more than me, or I benefit more than them, or whatever. I'm just going to wrap things up here, but thank you for stopping by and listening to what I have to say. If you want more videos like this, or if there's something that you happen to be dealing with that you would love for me to weigh in on, or any type of thing that you just might need help with, genuinely, let me know. Until then, this is your host, Grim, or Jay, and have a wonderful day, night, or wherever you are, whatever's going on. Even if things seem bleak, it does eventually get better. Take it from me, I'm still here.